Let me start by saying I was extremely happy with our effort tonight. I thought we played really hard. We accomplished one of our major goals for this game, which is to bounce back with our effort after the Stanford game. And I thought the guys did a really good job on their own of getting prepared pre-game. They were just on it all day, and that was to me a telltale sign that I thought we were going to play well tonight. When I see that kind of energy from them, I feel pretty good. And I think there's room for us to improve and get better still. But overall, I thought we did what we needed to do tonight and got out on their shooters and had a lot of energy. Questions?
Talk about Chase's play, breaking around the basket. Give us comments on that way.
Well, one of the things you want to do when you have a scorer like him and he's struggling with his shot is get him some stuff around the goal. And I thought he did a really good job of reading the screens we set for him and making some good cuts. We got him on a post-up early, got him right around the goal, got him to the foul line 4 times. But I kind of expected that from Chase. And 8 for 15, he's even better than that. But that's a big step forward. And he ought to feel good about himself. And I think our team was really happy for him.
You talked about turnovers earlier in the week. Tonight was one of those nights again where you just came through the ball.
Yeah, we just started off a little sloppy with the ball again, and I wish I knew why. Maybe it's just conference play. I look and see we got Nick had 7 turnovers. It's very uncharacteristic for him. But one of the things, Steve, I've really tried to get across these guys. We're going to make some mistakes. I get that. The difference tonight when we made mistakes, I thought we played through them. I thought we played hard and overcame some of those things. And a lot of times in basketball games, it just comes down to your effort being huge. And you'll have a chance if you'll make sure that you follow through with other things, boxing out, when someone's open, giving them a good pass. And so those are one of the things that I'd like to see our turnovers go down, but I'm proud that we battled through that.
Can you talk real quick about Jamel had a nice night, 5 for 5, but there was one point I think you even yelled at him, stay in the game or be prepared for the next play or whatever.
Right. Well, you guys have seen Jamel all year. When he's on, we're good. And he's been a kind of an X factor in some of our big wins. He's still a young player. He's a sophomore getting major minutes this year, and he's still learning to sustain every play on the floor. That's hard for young players sometimes, and it's one of the things we really want for him and demand of him is that he just stays focused on the task at hand. And I thought tonight he did a really good job of getting Chase open. He screened very well, and consequently he got open and got 5 good looks, 2 from the three-point line. And I know that one shot, it seemed like he had all day to get it off. So he's definitely a big part of what we're trying to do, and in plays like that, we're not a bad team at all.
Even though Chase has been struggling with his shot and scoring, it didn't look tonight that affected him at all in terms of press. He didn't look like he took a bad shot or went outside the game.
Well, I thought, when we've gone back and kind of even analyzed the little slump he's been in, he's taken good shots. I thought tonight what he did, he just came out and played basketball. I thought he came out and he was trying to do everything. He was getting out and defending. He was trying to get on the glass. The first half he didn't have any rebounds, but he was boxing out. Jordan was getting everything that was coming off the rim. And, when Chase plays like that, 3 assists to go along with all that, he's a really good basketball player. He's so much more multidimensional than just shooting the ball. And sometimes when you put your energies in those other things, the scoring will come.
Coach, after that road trip you just had, how good does it feel to have a performance like this against Oregon?
For me personally, it's a relief. It's just sometimes winning as a coach is more of a relief than even happiness, because you got to move on to the next game. But I think the thing I was the most proud of, even if we hadn't won, I just thought we played harder. I just thought we stuck together. I thought the things we tried to get across to them in practice, they embraced it and tried to put it forth in the game. And when you get a team that'll do that and they buy in, they can't help but getting better. And that's one of the things I really want for this group is for them to stay together and just move through the tough times, enjoy the good times, and at the end, we'll just see how it all turns out.
What were you guys doing to order to help?
We just, every place he was, we tried to be there. It was that simple. First half, when they were in front of us, we had our whole bench just yelling, shoot her through, 12's on your side, just kept going with, letting everyone know where he was. And I thought we did a really good job of communicating in the zone. Second half, I saw guys pointing, talking, and that's so important when there's a shooter because those guys move. When they move, you can lose track of them unless there's good communication.
For a young team playing their first really true road game, to be able to slow down one of their veterans, do you think that had an effect kind of down there?
Well, he's certainly the head of the dog, so to speak, and you got to make sure that you can take him out. And I know, he dropped, I believe, 22 on UCLA. I mean, he's a fine player, and and our guys did a nice job on him, but he probably missed some shots he usually hits too. I'm not going to have us take full credit for it, but I thought we were really in his face a lot, and that's what you have to do on shooters.
What do you think about Chanel's mohawk?
No comment. If he believes it helps him, then I like it.
Anything else for Coach Pennell?
You want to just talk about the game on Saturday?
Yeah, well, Oregon State, I think what Craig Robinson's doing is really good. He's coming in, bringing his style in. He's trying to change the culture there. They're a little unconventional defensively. You're going to throw some 1-3-1 half-court trap at us, and that kind of will disrupt your offense at times. So tomorrow will be a big prep day for us. They're pretty deliberate on the offensive end. We just can't get lulled into any kind of security before this game. We have set out this weekend. This is a two-part job, and we got job 1 done. We got job 2 to go. And honestly, I almost look at Oregon State as the second half. Tonight was the first half. I'm even sitting here now thinking about, prepping for tomorrow. Almost can't wait to get the guys so we can move on and kind of keep this thing going. So we've got a big job, and just because, they had lost all those games in a row and then last week beat a good USC team, I don't know what's happening right now in Tempe, but they're going to get better. The thing that's scary about all these teams in the league right now, and Cal is a prime example, Oregon State's a prime example, they have veterans. They have guys that have played a lot of games. And they're never going to go in a place and be intimidated. They've been around the block. You're not going to trick them. You're going to have to beat them, and you're going to have to do a good job. So that's kind of where I think we're at versus the Beavers on Saturday.
Do you think anything of coaching against the president-elect's brother-in-law at all?
Yeah, I'll be careful shaking his hand. I don't get too aggressive. He might Secret Service maybe on me or something. I think it's kind of neat. I really do. I think it's neat that our new president loves basketball as much as he does. But I met Coach Robinson on the road this summer recruiting, and just an outstanding man and very kind, very generous with his time. And I think he's a perfect fit right now for what they need up there in Corvallis.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Thank you.